papilla sparing, leaving 1 millimeters, and paracrestal. This will increase the keratine tissues, facial. Okay, this is just to show you where the MGJ. Okay, I'm showing this is. I want you to know that the cut should pass beyond keratine tissues, pass beyond MGJ, so that you get apically positioned nature. You get this portion of keratine tissue to the buccal, and the tissue on the occlusal, doesn't really help much for the functional component of the tissues. Okay, now it's very important. Now you have to do partial thickness. When you make all this, I always make vertical cut first and horizontal cut the next, and I will elevate the corner all by knife, scalpels. Never periosteum elevator, okay? Never use pincet. And you do partial thickness, means there are periosteum left behind. Okay? When you cut, don't use periosteum elevator. You separate the tissue thickness, partial thickness. And as thick as possible though, you just leave the periosteum behind. You don't want to thin out too much on the tissue. Don't thin out too much. The partial. See? Okay, there are some tissues on top of the, including periosteum, on top of the healing cover screw, all right? Now you are mobilizing these tissues. Don't waste them. Don't, trash them, okay? Mobilize them, making a U shape, another U shape of cut, okay? Then you can mobilize this tissue to the side where the implant was underneath. Okay, I'm sorry we don't have time to place the implant today, but I'm asking you to hopefully place 2 healing abutment. Okay? Okay? Then you start to drill. Okay? This for the mini. First drill, initial drill, is good for the mini to screw onto it. Okay? Sorry, maybe. And the second, when you drill the second, I would drill to the pilot drill. Okay? The second drill, and it will be a little wider. And then you can screw this healing abutment into the bone. Okay? So now you have 2 healing abutments done. One thing about this, okay. Well, Warren Tech has a very tight connections, okay? The screwdriver and the screw, very tight. I think the friction fit may be too tight. This is a little my complaint. Otherwise, you have to make sure that you don't pull it, okay? You have to, it's very tight. Maybe mine is very new, okay? I started using this recent 6 months, okay? So, okay. Now we're practicing semi-lunar. I'm probably, let's take a look. This is about 2 to 3 millimeters. And you have keratine tissue about 5 to 7 millimeters. If you have more than 5, okay, let's say you have to have 3 millimeters, on the buccal. So whatever more than 3, you can decide. If their keratine tissue about 7, you can have 3 to 4 millimeters to rotate to the interdental. Take this for example. Because this model has no keratine tissue. Okay, this model I cannot so far in the world there is no keratine tissues. Okay, you can practice with. But this one, okay? Leave 2 millimeters away from the edges. So there's a semilunar, we call it semilunar. You can mobilize to the interdental. Okay? Make sure that you don't cut through, otherwise you'll free this tissue. If it's free, then the tissue is no use. Okay? Now, you start to suture, like I've just shown you, from mobile to non-mobile, coming out, not from the sulcus, and then you make, okay? Then you make it tight. Don't make it a habit of going this way, locking, but stretching, okay? Make sure this tie is tight enough. There are flexibilities of these tissues. So I'm asking you to mobilize the tissues and secure it with the initial tie. Don't locking too much, but just stretching. Okay? Okay, and then mobilize the nut to this area, to inside of the graft. Now, if this tie is loose, which is not a problem, because we're going to make a second tie, double tie anyway, okay? You didn't cut it, don't cut it yet, okay? Now engage in the lingual tissues. Look at the back of the needle and rotate as much as you can, superficially engaging the tissues. Your needle didn't even touch the bone. And pull the needles out. Now, sorry. Okay? Now you're making the sutures. This is triangular mattress sutures. This needle, this nut move from here to here, and then we make a second one. So this papilla will be compressed well. Okay, so if the first nut is tight enough, don't worry. You have to make sure that your second tie is tight enough. Okay, so that's the first suture from mobile tissue to immobile tissues. 从会动的往不会动的啊，我们再缝第二针。Okay, the same thing also distal to that, which I'll go very fast. And then make it tight. Now, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. The second tie, I'm not making a distal one. I'm making a cross matrix. Okay, making cross to compress the interdental, inter-implant tissues. Okay. So this semilunar was compressed well. And then we have another, so when you compress it, make sure that it's evenly distributed on the forces. 平均的分配力量在这个牙肉上被压的这个牙肉。Okay. Then we have the last one. It's difficult, from immobile to mobile. Now, if we don't have it in vertical cut, the best way is from distal to anterior. Okay, but since this is the mobile tissue, this kind of is